Hey everybody, it's Kerry. We're here with the look ahead for January 11th through the 17th. It's been a very active first little part of January, the new year. I'm still going to work on a 2026 overview, the big picture stuff for 2026. I'm just always busy. Anyway, so I finally made it today. It was kind of a full day already for me. So yeah, there's a few things that are standing out to me as I've worked with people over the last week and looking at the week ahead. So this little group of planets up in Sagittarius, that's really what's on my mind. You can see the degrees of them all, and you can see the degree of the retrograde Jupiter up there. There's things I want to say about both of those things. Just over the last couple days, we had that really tight opposition of retrograde Jupiter with the trio of Sun, Venus, and Mars, who are all really close together. You can look at the degrees. So next is Mercury. Mercury is going to really oppose Jupiter this week. So a couple things. We have had retrograde Jupiter in effect since November 11th, 2025. It's going to be a 4-month retrograde cycle. Around March 10th, 11th, Jupiter will go into direct motion again, and we'll see what happens. But for whatever reason this year, it's really come out to me that retrograde Jupiter can't be counted on in a way to always give positive, expansive, and growth-oriented results. It's like when we have a retrograde planet, it's sometimes hard to know how they're going to act. Are they going to be more like themselves? Are they going to lessen their effect? Unpredictable, hard to know. But we count on Jupiter for growth. We count on Jupiter for positivity. We count on Jupiter for guidance and truth. So retrograde Jupiter, it's been hard to tell who's the good guys and who's the bad guys, I feel like, in the last couple months. We're literally halfway through. It was November 11th and it goes to about March 11th. So this is the second part of this Jupiter retrograde cycle. Maybe with this awareness, we think, okay, maybe that retrograde Jupiter is exposing corruption. Maybe it's showing us other people's intentions that we thought were good, but they're maybe selfish, something like that. And as all these planets in Sagittarius go past that opposition, it's almost like they're looking at Jupiter. There's a lot of activity about like, hey, what's the truth? What's real? So that's one thing I'm just wanted to highlight. Jupiter retrograde seems a little wiggly, hard to know what's good. So the other thing is the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Sun, Venus, Mars. They've been really tight this last week, and Mercury will join up in a few days. So I talked about Cazimi last week as being an alternate way of looking at combustion. It's just a different word for the same thing. Vedic Astrology has this combustion, which makes it sound like those planets are just doomed. They're not going to be able to do anything with being in the sun's halo. Whereas Cazimi gives it a little bit more of a jazzy meaning, where it's like, oh, everything's amplified and unified. So I've been going with that theory because I think we need that. So they're very tight, and this whole group is going to be moving over that borderline between Sagittarius and Capricorn this week. That's what I think the big news of the week is. That one at a time, we're going to see these planets head over into Capricorn. So, what else? Oh, yes. The other thing, and I know I don't talk about this a lot, but what really caught my eye is Capricorn right now. There's like Pluto at 8 degrees, 50 minutes. Just caught my eye. You know, guys, I don't really talk about the outer planets all that much, but just saying, all those other planets are about to run into that. And I know, the best I know is that Pluto has a very big, long cycle, and it affects big trends in cultures and that kind of thing. And I think we're back to like, where was Pluto when the United States? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, just caught my eye. All right. 8 degrees 50. Capricorn is in the nakshatra called Uttarashada. So that's the other thing that came out at me today, was we've had all of these planets in the last week have been conglomerating in the previous nakshatra, which is Purvashada. So it's a pair, Purva and Uttarashada. So I just wanted to talk about them because I feel like it's interesting, like where all of these planets are kind of moving into Uttarashada, which is the one that actually spans across Sagittarius and Capricorn. So Purvashada, that's the first one, is all entirely within Sagittarius. So it has that Jupiter, fiery, expansive, flowing energy. How it's felt to me is like we're on the road, we're flowing towards something. It's kind of a really like, let's get together, let's pull it together and move forward energy. And then we're getting into Uttarashada. All the planets are hopping over into Capricorn, and then Uttarashada, they're already there actually. So the line is right before Capricorn. So some of those planets up in Sagittarius that you're looking at right there are in Uttarashada, some of them are in Purvashada. So they're all just moving across that borderline. So to me, Uttarashada is like, this is the commitment. Like we've been on the runway, we're gaining momentum in Purvashada, we're flowing toward this growth or goal. And like we're ready to change, we're ready to go. And then once we get into that Uttarashada, which is Sagittarius to Capricorn energy, it's 9th house to 10th house energy. It's like, you got to commit. You got to like launch that thing and go for it and know you're going to succeed. It's like that level of I'm committing to this and we're going. So it's like you're on the path. You can succeed. You got to reach that goal. You got to touch the sky and keep climbing. That's what I was talking about, climbing last week. So that's the feeling I'm getting. So if you need some confidence, just feel like, part of it is knowing what you want and committing to it and going for it. So as a pair, those two nakshatras are both very human. And that also brings to me Venus and Mars. I always call those the human planets, the sort of feminine and masculine human planets. So both of these nakshatras are very human. So maybe we look at Venus, Mars, Mercury, and the Sun, all the inner planets and the outer planet who are our neighbor, like moving as a mass. I mean, I think what that could mean in real life is find your people, join together, and do the thing. We can't do anything alone, right? So maybe that's part of the combustion thing too. You sort of lose your individual flavor when you're united with a big group, but there could be more power to it as well. So anywho, Uttarashada goes up to 10 degrees Capricorn, and Pluto is in there right now. So that's what I was thinking, is like those planets are all going to meet up with Pluto coming up this week. So, all right, let's get into our day-to-day look. The moon is waning this week. So very dynamic week. One at a time, those planets are going to move over into Sagittarius. So I feel like maybe find out in your chart what two houses those are, Sagittarius and Capricorn. That might be where you need to go for it. It's taking something from the practice room to the stage, or from theory to practice, something like that. Big week. Gather your momentum, even though the moon is waning. I'm sorry to tell you. All right, so this is our Sunday the 11th. I've backed down our time of day that I look for sunrise, because the days are getting slightly longer. So on Sunday, we've got those 3 planets, Sun, Venus, and Mars, really close. Mercury gaining up speed on them. The moon is in Libra. So Sunday and Monday, this is interesting, at sunrise, the moon is going to be in Swati nakshatra both of the days in a row. Just after sunrise on Monday, the moon moves into the next one. But I just thought that was an interesting thing. The symbol for Swati is a blade of grass in the wind. So to me, that symbolizes a small thing getting blown around in a big world. So sometimes we can feel that way with everything happening in the world and not being able to do much about it, except for stand as strong as we can. So both Sunday and Monday, the moon is in Swati. First pada on Sunday and the 4th pada on Monday. And then soon after, the moon moves to Vishaka on Monday. So just wanted to point out that while the moon is in Libra, you get this Jupiter-Rahu effect. The aspects are both going into Libra and all the air signs. So it could just feel like a lot on Sunday and Monday, with retrograde Jupiter and Rahu both hitting the moon in Swati for those 2 days. So plan for slow things. Plan to do things that you need to move, right? It's not feeling super stable. I'll just say that. So maybe if you have to uproot things, that's the day. Okay, let's go to Tuesday. This is Monday. So I kind of just combined Sunday and Monday. Moon. You can see 1928. It's almost into the next nakshatra there. So, but so the same energy, really. And only the other planets are only edging closer to Sagittarius. So that's the story for Sunday and Monday. Okay, on Tuesday, things start rolling. So this is Tuesday. You can actually see Venus has gone into Capricorn. So that actually happens kind of during Monday night. So Monday to Tuesday, Venus moves into Capricorn. First, leading the pack. They're going to go one at a time. The moon goes into Scorpio on Tuesday, or is in Scorpio, starts the day. The 1 degrees 19 means Vishaka nakshatra. Vishaka is, the symbol of it is a gateway, which I think is interesting, or actually a lightning strike, which is also interesting. But I really get this emergent feeling from Vishaka. You get through a gateway, you've done something, you've emerged, you've gotten through a thing. So it could feel that way. Again, though, let's remember the underlying moon waning thing is happening. So if you're feeling low energy, if you're feeling tired, if you got a lot on your schedule, maybe don't plan more. So Tuesday, Venus has moved over, and we have the moon in Vishaka. All right, let's onward. This is Wednesday, the 14th of January, and the moon starts the day in Anuradha nakshatra, 3rd pada, so almost all the way through. You can see the sun has joined over into Capricorn with Venus. So from Tuesday to Wednesday, the sun moves signs also. It really feels like with Mars and Mercury in Sagittarius only, Venus and Sun have moved on. The moon is in Scorpio. You can see it's kind of a chain of planets. There's moon all the way up to Saturn, with the basis being a very tired moon. Getting the sense of possible overwhelm. So again, stick to, find your people, reach out for support, make a network. It might feel like you're alone, but you're not. Okay, so, all right, Wednesday. What else? Oh, I wanted to point out that Mercury and Jupiter are opposite. this day. You can see it finally, 25 degrees, Mercury and Jupiter. So again, this is Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday I think of as student-teacher days, Mercury being the student on Wednesday and Jupiter being the teacher on Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday might be a good time to face your educational trajectory and reach out to your teachers, or do things that you need to do to sign up for courses or pay for things, or get on track with setting up your online school. Talking to myself. Okay, let's go. Let's go to Thursday. The moon goes to the very final degrees of Scorpio, which is Jesta nakshatra. Jesta gives me a really feeling of protection and looking out for the little guy. Maybe that little guy is you, and with the waning moon, you really slow down and don't overschedule yourself on Thursday. Mars is going to move on Thursday. You can see 2944. He's going to be over there, and on Friday he'll move over into Capricorn. So that is Thursday. Friday, the moon has gone over into Sagittarius, kind of replacing Mars. Mars jumps out, moon moves in. So on Friday, we have this, at least at the beginning of the day, the idea of moon and Mercury, both very mind-oriented planets. One's come into Sagittarius, one is going to be leaving. It's kind of like the planning committee is moving out of Sagittarius, and the one who really experiences the transformation is coming in. So, and the moon is also going to be moving through an opposition with Jupiter on its way to Capricorn. So this just feels like a very big week with something. It's almost like the cards just kind of falling, or dominoes falling. That's kind of what I'm feeling like. One at a time, things go. All right. So this is Friday. And by Saturday, this is the 17th of January, all of those guys have made it into Capricorn, Mercury included, and Mercury is gaining on everybody, as you'll see. So we had, the order of things was Venus, and then Sun, and then Mars, and then Mercury. Next week, we're going to watch Mercury flash past all the rest of those planets. Mars is going to hang back and stay in Capricorn the longest. He loves it there. That's his sign of exaltation. And then eventually the glob of planets around the sun is going to dissipate as we move into February. So that's what I've got for you. With the beginning of this week, Sagittarius, and the end of the week all the way into Capricorn, it brings my attention also to Capricorn, where at the moment there's not very much aspects in there. It's kind of like a hiding place. Like, it makes me feel like, yeah, get in your room, do your work, create like crazy, get the rubber on the road, take things from the drawing board to the table and fix it up. Because right now Capricorn is sort of quiet. There's really, Jupiter's not hitting it. Rahu and Ketu can't see in there. And so it also could feel like, hey, I need alone time. So if that's the feeling you're getting, especially with the extreme amount of social feeling of Venus, Mars, and Sun and Mercury all being together, it could mean like, yeah, do your social things, but also carve out some rest time, some alone time. So, when that wind starts to howl as we're climbing up this pitch, it's like, you might want to give up. So just return to what you know is true. With that retrograde Jupiter out there, it's sometimes hard to trust what you see and what you hear. So do a little bit of practice and look inside. Realize that you have eyes and ears. You can see what's going on. You know what's going on, and you're here and you're breathing. So just one foot in front of the other. All right, that's it for now. I'll look out for the 2026 overview in the next couple days. Thanks a lot for watching. I always love your comments and your likes. I appreciate it a lot. So let me know how I'm doing. All right, take care. Bye.